Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today you should buckle up because I've got a doozy of a knife review to share with you guys. This is the new Spyderco Shaman lightweight, I guess, with some injection mold plastic or FRN or whatever you want to call this sort of like, you know, lightweight, high strength plastic material. And then we also have the CTS BD1N blade. Let me start this off by saying, number one, I'm a gigantic fan of E-Knives. Now, E-Knives loaned this knife to me for review. They're always super cool about it. They know that they're going to loan me stuff that, you know, sometimes I might like and sometimes I might not. But I do thank E-Knives for loaning this to me so that I can give my thoughts on it. I will have this linked down in the description where you guys can check it out. It'll go to E-Knives. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. So anyways, I do like E-Knives a lot. They're awesome. They carry a lot of stuff that I like. I also am a gigantic Spyderco fan. Not only am I a gigantic Spyderco fan, you know what? I'm going to go and say I'm the world's biggest fan of the Shaman in particular. The Spyderco Shaman has shaped so many of my preferences. My own knife design is largely based on the Spyderco Shaman. I think the Spyderco Shaman is a wonderful, wonderful knife. I think it's one of the greatest pocket knives of all time. It's one of my favorites of all time, right? We can argue about that all day. I'm not going to do that, right? The price of the Shaman has gone nutter butters. It's ridiculous. I think the standard Shaman, this is mine, it has some different scales on it, but I think the standard version's like $265 or $270. It's ridiculous, right? This guy's a lot less. I got every reason in the world to glaze this thing. Like, if you use my link down there, if you buy it through my link, like, I'm going to get a kickback, right? I love the retailer, love Spyderco knives. There's all the puzzle pieces are there for this to be an absolute glaze fest. That is not what's going to happen today. I am very bothered by this knife. Very, very bothered. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and measure this. Same size as the original Shaman. 8 1/4 inches. Here's the original Shaman. It's the same thing. Same thing. Just a difference in materials, right? Couple of size comparisons up against the 8010 in my own Excalibur. There you go. It's still pretty big. And then we'll just do one more. We'll do the PM2 and the Para 3, and then we'll just move on, right? Great. How's the action? Well, the action is the same, as far as I can tell, as the regular Shaman. You push that compression lock back. It's still very easy to deploy. And a little bit of lock stick on this guy. Good with the thumb stud opening. You can absolutely still, front flip it if you really want to. I don't think it's made to do that, but you can. It all still feels the same, right? And fit and finish, still there. Carry profile, it carries like the other Shaman, except worse because of the texture on it. Now, some people are going to find a reason to like it, but I'll talk about this here. It's a little bit thicker, if you didn't know, than Spyderco Para 3. This texture is so unpleasant. Also, in and out of the pocket, it's just ferociously unpleasant. I have to emphasize this. I hate touching this knife, but I also have this weird thing where, and I feel like everybody has a texture that they don't like. The foam that is inside of old car seats, like that yellow foam, I really hate touching that texture. Something that just bothers me to my core, right? This feels like evil sandpaper. I can actually like touch sandpaper and it doesn't bother me too much. This feels like, I don't know. I hate it. Now, if you're not bothered by that, the benefit of this is that using this in a work environment, it's very, very grippy, whether it's your bare hands or your gloves. It will bother you going in and out of your pocket, though. It is like it's like wrapping sandpaper around a small block of wood and shoving it into your pocket. That's what it feels like. I do not like this texture at all, but I think that that's going to be something that is kind of, you know, subjective. There's definitely a benefit there. I just want to let you know, like, I hate the texture on this. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on into the hardware check. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description. It talks about the tools I use in this channel. It's still a T8. We got T8 here. Oddly, the backspacer now has 3 screws in it, which is weird. I don't know why they did that. This backspacer is longer, I guess, than the original. Maybe it's for structural integrity. I'm not really sure why. Now it has 3 screws. So, okay. They're all T8 still, and it's really not that big of a deal to, take it apart. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. The blade stock thickness, I believe, is also still the same. I don't know why it would be different, but we'll go ahead and check it just in case. So there you go. 143 thousandths there. And what is it on the original Shaman? Stop. I think it's probably about the same. Yeah, 143, 142, 143, right about there. Let's weigh it. This is the lightweight Shaman. At first I thought, no, they didn't call it the lightweight Shaman. It's just the Shaman with the FRN scales. No, it turns out Blade HQ actually has this listed as lightweight Shaman. You're saying Shaman wrong. It's Shaman. I'm going to say Shaman. I think that's funny. Originally I didn't know that. Like 6 or 7 years ago, whenever I did my video, I didn't know that it was pronounced Shaman. And somebody corrected me, and I was like, okay. And then I got corrected. There was like 20 corrections, and I was like, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is intentionally say it incorrect forever. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see here. Weight on the original is 5.2 ounces. How much weight did they remove from this guy? 0.4 ounce. What? This isn't. Why are we calling this lightweight? It's not lightweight. You're not even saving half an ounce. It's so weird. Okay, meat and potatoes time. I want to get into why I really, really am so frustrated with this knife. It's like I said, it's not nice to touch. I don't like it. Ergonomically, it's still great. I mean, this is truthfully. Let me get this out. This is a great tool. As it is, it's a fantastic tool because it's still the Shaman profile. What makes this knife good in general is that it's the blade profile, the choke up spot, like ergonomics. If you were to take this knife out and use it, I don't want anybody to think, because you guys know I'm about to bring the hammer down on this thing. Anybody who buys this, and if you take it out and I'm sure that this knife will last you 50 years and it'll be just fine. It is made well. It will cut. It is sharp. It is not the absolute worst steel in the whole world. So if you bought this and you plan to use it, it will serve you well. The problem is what you are getting for your money. This knife. Now I realize when the Shaman came out, that was, what was that, 7 years ago? Been a long time since then. But in 7 years, now the price of this is more than the original G10 and S30V Shaman, right? Now, alongside G10 and S30V, you can buy most of at least the Golden Colorado Spydercos, which this still is. This is made in Golden Colorado, USA Earth. You can get those in Cobalt and Spy 27, which is S45VN, right? I think S30V still has better edge retention, but if you want a little bit of a tougher balance, I think Spy 27 is a little more corrosion resistant too. It's a little easier to sharpen. Still has good edge retention, right? You can have your choice, right? If S30V is boring, basically, then you can go that route. Spyderco's S30V is absolutely phenomenal. Now, the Spyderco Shaman does not have the most amazing cutting geometry. A lot of people say it's pretty thick behind the edge. It's a really, really good work knife, right? So this has okay geometry. It will work in a number of different scenarios. The stone wash looks good. Fit and finish is pretty good, right? All of that's fine. CTS BD1N, if you look at like the rankings for blade steels on Laren Thomas, like if you go to Knife Steel Nerds and check out the ranks for different blade steels, he has like charts for all of these common, or like well-known blade steels, and he ranks them out of 10 for edge retention, for corrosion resistance, and for toughness. The balance of CTS BD1N, which is meant to be an improvement on CTS BD1, the balance of it is completely blown away by 14C28N. This is a $172 knife. The only right way to have done this, in my opinion, and I know like Spyderco does this with a lot of their lightweight stuff. Like it's like, okay, well we can make it cheaper by changing the scales to this injection mold plastic and doing CTS BD1N instead of S30V. I think CTS BD1N, I think, would be more appropriate on a knife that costs like, $60. Now, this knife is made in the USA. We cannot ignore the fact that it's made in the USA, and this just costs more to make. I don't think they can make this knife and sell it for $50. I honestly don't think that they can. This is a made in the USA knife, right? Not like all the parts are made in China and then they ship them here and they screw them together. That's like what Cobra Tech does. And that's not made in the USA. That's assembled in the USA. This is made in the USA. So there is a cost there associated with that. But do I think that $172 makes it? No, not at all. Even with the inflation and everything, so this makes no sense whatsoever. If you want to do CTS BD1N is such a weird, why don't they just make a less expensive version of their knife they keep the S30V, right? Or, it seems like the price of S35VN has come way down. A lot of people kind of view S35VN as a better steel than S30V. It's just a different balance, right? If they had made this S30V and this handle material and then they were charging $150 for it, I'd have been okay. $172. The original Spyderco Shaman released at $155. Maybe it's $158 if I remember correctly. I bought mine for I bought this exact Shaman. It had G10 scale, black G10 scales when I first bought it. I bought this for $165, and even then I was the price increase on it. Then it went up to $185. And I was whoa, this is getting out of hand. Then it was $200, then it was $215, then it was $225, then it was $250, and now it's $270 or $280. This is too much money for this knife. If you are they're never going to make a version that's just like the plastic scales and the S30V, right? It's not going to happen. Should you buy the lightweight Shaman in CTS BD1, and this deal's fine if it's on a way, way, way cheaper knife. But this, even with it being made in the USA, no part of me wants to pay $172 for this steel and then some steel internals, the compression lock, and then this handle material. No. What do I think a fair price would be for this? What do I think Spyderco should actually be charging for this? Maybe $90, maybe $80. This is great. I don't want that. I want a different blade steel. I don't want them to reduce the price on this to what I think is fair for that. I want it to be a different blade steel. It's weird that they didn't change enough of this knife to reduce the weight in any meaningful way. Again, if you buy this and you go out and use it, it will be fine. It's fine. It's still a Spyderco made knife. It's still plenty tough. It's got good enough geometry that'll work, right? But the steel is not going to perform special in any meaningful way. Not for $172. My main qualm with this is not it's a bad tool. No. And I'm also not necessarily saying CTS BD1N is the worst steel of all time. No, it's just not the right combination of things on a $172 knife. $172 doesn't buy you what it used to buy you a while back, but we still have some ridiculously competitive stuff at that price point. The RSK MK1 G2, the Ritter Hogue, we still have tons of other offerings from Hogue. Kershaw, the Kershaw Bel Air, or Bel Air XL, right? If you want the USA stuff. I mean, it's just this is a joke in the competition space. This is just hey, if you want the Shaman and you look at the Shaman and you're God, $270 for the Shaman. Yeah, we hear you. You'd rather pay the old price? Sure, no problem. But we're going to give you a substantially downgraded blade steel and then plastic scale. I'm not even so mad. I just don't like the texture. I'm not even so mad about this. It's just it's just a substantial downgrade. If you are considering buying the Shaman, it is an overpriced knife. Just flat out. $270 is way too much for this version. But I would honestly recommend, if you're I gotta have the Shaman, which do I go for? Completely ignore this and go for this. You will overpay for this. This right now, this knife right here should be no more than $180 to $190. But it is. It's about $265 to $275, somewhere in there. I'm filming this on Black Friday. So as of right now, I think they're on sale for $220 on Blade HQ. more fair, still not fair enough. But this is a worse deal at $172. I do not recommend this at all. That is the end of my review. I do appreciate eKnives loaning this to me and allowing me to say what I want, as they've always been like that. I won't work with anybody who doesn't let me say what I want. But anyways, yeah, if you want to pick this up, there's links down in the description. I do not recommend it. I would recommend you buy the standard Shaman, and I would recommend you pay too much money for the standard Shaman. I will also link that. Shop around is ultimately what I'm saying. I do not know where my card went, so that's going to be the end of the video. Is it under here? Where did it go? It's gone. All right. Well, oh, there it is. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.